Yo, what it do again? Welcome back to the channel. So listen guys, you see it, it's a 60 card Cubic Therion deck. We're gonna get into that, but first of all, I want to thank everybody that wished my dad a speedy recovery and all that stuff. Thank you so much. I genuinely love this freaking community, bro. You guys are the most welcoming, the most caring, the most cool, chilliest community of all freaking YouTube. I swear, bro, you guys are great. So with that being said, thank you. And again, here we have this abomination, bro, but I have 3 sussy replays for you that you're gonna enjoy. One of them is against tier limits, and the other one is against the other decks and stuff like that. One of them is against Meknights. It was a 7-turn duel. You have to watch. I'm gonna leave it for the last replay, so if you don't really want to watch the replays and stuff, watch the last one, because that duel was crazy. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you do, please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Enough talking, let's get into the replays. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I actually really like these replays. I think you guys are gonna enjoy them very much. I also have cubic tier limits for you guys, because I have this vision, I have this idea. I'm trying to make it work. I know you guys hate tier limits right now, but bro, listen, I'm gonna give you wacky little decks that looks fun and might work. So I don't know. Now with that being said, let's get into it. You're going to activate the Frankfurt Patchwork, of course, getting a polymerization and an edge in chain. You guys know how this goes. You've seen branded before, even though it's tier limits, right? They're going to activate the tier limit Merly, milling some cards. They hit the what's it called, the Agito, and Agito is going to mill a crap ton of cards as well. I'm like, okay, bet. They're going to activate the Havness in the graveyard. That way they can use both of these monsters to fusion summon into the Kit Kalos. Of course, you guys know how that goes. They're going to activate that thing's effect, getting a Rhino Heart to the hand, right? Copy. They're going to activate that thing's effect. Now they can special summon the Rhino Heart, send itself to the graveyard. Rhino Heart is going to send a tier limit card to the graveyard. But before they do that, they're going to activate the Kit Kalos effect, milling about 5 cards, if I'm not mistaken. Get it in there. Again, they're going to activate the Sharon in the graveyard. That way they can use both of these monsters right here to fusion summon into the, I believe it's the Rukalos. Yep, there it is. And they're gonna set down 2 backward and end their turn. I'm like, okay, bet. So here we're gonna join to our Fume, and I'm here. I honestly 100% thought they were gonna negate this effect because it's a special summon with this thing, and they didn't. So we're gonna continue. Oh, also one of the things that's great about Therions and Cubics is that this thing is a machine, so it works well with this card, right? But they're gonna activate the Mudara before we do that. I'm guessing they don't know how the Therion cards work, because that doesn't prevent me from still special summoning this thing. So get it out here. We're going to activate the Cubic Karma that they mailed into my graveyard, so that way we could search a Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord. And here I'm like, it's free list state. I know they don't have any negates, so we're going to activate the Grass is Greener, milling a crap ton of cards too. We're going to activate the Agito and activate the Kelbeck. Now you're probably wondering, yo DC, what's wrong with you, bro? You're playing against tier limits and you're gonna activate 2 cards that mill. Yeah, bro, I like to live dangerously, bro. I like to make the game exciting and fun. Get it all in there. Throw everything in there, bro. We're in the pot now. So now they're gonna activate the tier limits right now. Activating the Meta Noise 2, activating the Shadow Beast. And I'm like, do it. Activating the Merly. Go ahead, do it. Do it. I don't care. I have a Medora in the graveyard too. So we're gonna mill both of these cards right here, the Merly and the Meta Noise, because I don't really care about the effect of the spell. Get it out of here. Now you can't fusion summon into anything. Yeah, draw a card, get that out of here. And that thing doesn't even have an effect. Then I'm gonna activate the second Cubic Dharma, right? Get that out of here so I could get another Dusa into the hand. Then we're gonna activate the Cubic Dharma. That way I get the Crimson Nova that I milled into the graveyard back into my hand, right? Bring it over here. We're gonna activate the Cubic Wave, banishing 2 of our Cubic monsters so we can put Cubic counters on these things. So now they can't prevent me from special summoning, right? So we're gonna activate the Fume. They're gonna activate the Sulky, trying to negate this thing's effect. And I purposely negated that, even though I really didn't need to, just so I could get another Therion body in the graveyard. So you guys will see, right? So I'm like, negate that thing, get it out of here. Because also they would have to get rid of the Kit Kalos, I mean the Rukalos, and then special summon it, and then they would have been able to use that thing's effect, right? So I had to negate it either way. So now I get the Fume. I'm gonna bring the Lily onto the field. We're gonna activate this thing's effect, sending the Therion stand up to the graveyard. That way we could search for a Therion the Colosseum, right? They're gonna activate the Agitoid effect from the hand. When you send a card to the graveyard, that thing gets to special summon itself and special summon another fairy monster, right? I'm like, I don't care. We're gonna activate the QED Colosseum. We're gonna get a Bull onto the hand, right? We're gonna activate the Bull, getting the Yui onto the field while attaching it to it, right? Then we're gonna activate the Therion stand up, so that way we could target this thing and attach the King Regulus onto it. Then we're gonna get we're gonna activate the Endless Engine Agrio system. That way we could get another Therion card to the hand, right? Send that thing back to the deck. We're gonna activate the thing's effect, sending this thing to the graveyard so we could pop this trap. And I never seen this before, but this thing looks crazy. It says backup team draw cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls. Then place cards from your hand to the bottom of the deck in any order equal to the number of cards you drew, which is crazy, right? I'm like, okay, bet. They're trying to look for, I'm pretty sure they wanted a Hobness or something to activate here. We popped that thing right now. I'm gonna activate the cubic, the Crimson Nova, special summon that thing, and then we could do it again. Special summon that thing, and now we're just gonna go for the attack. This thing, once we attack, we get to attack twice. So we pop that thing in the face. I get to activate this thing's effect because we popped the thing in the face, right? So I get to bring the King Regulus back to the hand. Give me that. So again, we get to attack again, get that thing out of here. We're gonna attack with the other Crimson Nova, get that thing out of here, and I get to attack again with that thing, get it out of here. We're gonna slap him up again, and then during the end phase, we get to do 3,000 damage, bro. Yo, I freaking love this deck. I freaking love the freaking cubic, bro. And they're gonna scoop. They got like yo, bro, this duel was just genuinely hilarious to me. Like, genuinely, it was really just hilarious to me how we managed to just do that, bro. We left them with 100 life points. And also, the thing is that Crimson Nova doesn't care about any card that they have, because it's unaffected by every card effect that has 3,000 damage or less. All of the freaking tier limit fusion monsters, they don't have more than 3,000 damage, bro. We don't even care. So, with that being said, let's go into the next replay. Right, guys, here we are for the second replay of the day. And I think you guys will also like this one because I had to bait the heck out of our opponent in order to make some plays, which was really cool. They're also playing a pure Therion deck, which was actually really cool. I want to try that also. I haven't done it yet. But they're going to activate the Foolish Burial, sending the Therion Empress Alacia into the graveyard. Then they're going to activate the Lily, so that way they can special summon him by attaching the other Therion card to itself, right? Bring it out here. They're going to activate the Endless Engine, sending another Therion card to the graveyard. They're going to activate the Therion Colosseum. That way they could get a King Regulus onto the hand, right? They're going to activate the King Regulus, getting the Yui from the graveyard so they could attach it to it while it special summon itself, right? Then they're going to activate Reasoning, and I'm like, okay, bet. I don't know why I picked one, but I picked one. Like a dummy. But then they get a King Regulus, they special summon that thing. Then they're going to activate the Lily's effect, right? Getting rid of that thing so they could get a Therion trap or spell to the hand, right? They get the Therion Cross onto the hand. Then they're going to use both for these level 8s so they can Exceed Summon into the 97 Draglubian. They're going to get rid of a material, that way they can special summon the number 38 Hopebringer Dragon, right? Attaching the card to itself and ending their turn. They have a complete Omni Negate against spell, and the Regulus, which is a Omni Negate as well, right? And I can't destroy this thing because of this thing being attached to it, right? And this thing cannot be this thing is unaffected as well. So here I'm like, I have to bait him out, because if I use this thing, they're gonna negate it with that thing. If I use this thing, they're gonna negate it with that thing. If I try to special summon, they're gonna negate with this thing. So I'm like, what do people hate the most right now? It's issue cards. So that's why I started with the Madara. Send that thing to the graveyard. That's gonna force them to use their trap. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm gonna use this thing's effect, trying to send some of their cards back into the deck because they want them in the graveyard. And that way, I'm thinking maybe they'll use the King Regulus. And they did. They really did, bro. I'm telling you. I'm a fisherman, bro. I was throwing bait everywhere. So they negate that thing. I'm like, okay, I don't even care. Do it, bro. They're gonna banish this thing out of my hands, so I don't even get to do anything. So now I'm gonna activate the Cubic Dharma. And this is also another bait because of this thing right here, right? And they actually activated it, bro. I was dying. This was hilarious. So now they activate that thing's effect, negate it, and suck it up. I'm like, okay. Heart of the cards, grass is green. We need to mill something, bro. Some craziness has to happen. So now we hit the Agito and the Kelbeck, right? So I gotta mill. Also, this deck is based on milling, bro. I'm sorry, but you need to mill. So now, because we mill a bunch of this stuff, one of the Agito cards says that we can set down a trap. We didn't have the other Gravekeeper card, or I mean, trap, in it didn't get milled, so I didn't get to set it down. But it's fine. We set down the Imperm. Again, we're gonna keep milling cards. I can activate the cubic Karma, so that way we get all of our Crimson Nova Dolores in the graveyard, unfortunately, right? So when I activate this thing's effect, I can only bring other cubic monsters to the hand, but that's fine. We're gonna activate the Mudara, that way we can send these things back into the deck, right? So I don't want them in the graveyard right now. Mainly the Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord, because now that I send it back into the deck, I can activate my second cubic Karma and bring it from the deck into my hand, which we just brought it from the graveyard, which is crazy, right? Then we're gonna activate the Endless Engine, that way we could get the Bull from the graveyard into the hand, so we can activate its effect, attach the King Regulus to itself, so that way we can special summon that thing. Then we're gonna activate the Therion Stand Up, right? That way we could attach the Yui to that thing again as well. Then we're gonna activate the Cubic Wave. We're gonna banish 2 of our cubic monsters, so we could put cubic counters on these things, just in case we didn't get to finish the game now. We didn't have to worry about them later, right? So now we're gonna activate the King Regulus, attaching the Fume to itself, right? Get it over here. Then we're gonna activate this thing's effect. We're gonna get rid of the King Regulus that's attached to it, so we could pop the Field Spell. Get it out of here. And then we're gonna go into the battle phase. Since this thing can be destroyed any other way by battle, I have to battle into it. They try to activate this thing's effect, but it's negated by the cubic counter anyway, so we don't even care. And also, they made the mistake of activating that thing's effect and giving me a cubic Dharma, which was bad, bro. So now we pop this thing in the face, right? They try to activate that thing's effect. It's negated. It doesn't even matter. We're gonna pop that thing in the face too, get it out of here, and then we're gonna go into main phase 2. And this is why I said they made a mistake, because I'm gonna activate the cubic Dharma. That's gonna allow me to get another Crimson Nova, the Dark Cubic Lord, into the hand. I can special summon this thing right now, and they don't want any smoke after that, bro. They didn't want no type of smoke after that. I wouldn't want no freaking smoke. We have a quick effect, bounce a card back into the hand. We also have a Omni Negate, and then we're gonna have the Crimson Nova, which would have done 3,000 damage at the end of the turn as well. It was over, bro. So with that being said, let me show you that Mech Knight game that was crazy. 7 turns. I have my back against the wall, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Let's get into it. Alright guys, here we are for the third and last replay of the day. I might give you a little extra one depending on how long this is. I don't want the video to be too long, and also I got errands to run, so I'm trying to be a little quick, but I had to give you guys a video today. Hopefully I can send it out today, if not tomorrow, but I'm trying to do it today. So let's get into it, right? So we are gonna go first. So here I set down Infinite Impermanence and a Gravekeeper Trap, because we have Card of Destruction in the hand and I don't want to get rid of these things. I mainly wanted to mill this thing, so maybe we could make some plays, right? That was my plan at the time. We got Ash Blossom because it's spring outside, and I'm allergic, bro. My allergies is acting up, so that thing got negated. Get it out of here, send it to the graveyard. I'm gonna set down a Cubic Seed, and that's all we wrote, bro. If we can't mill, we can't really play. So, depending on the hand that we get, though. But alright. So here they're going to activate the Crusader Draco. Well, normal summoning that thing. I'm going to activate the Gravekeeper's Trap. That way I could use the Kelbeck effect and mill cards for my next turn. Because we don't have effects that work on our opponent's turn. So it doesn't really matter, right? So then they're going to use this thing to link off into the Crusader Magius, right? Or Magius. If I can't pronounce things, I can't speak English, bro. I've told you. So then they're going to special summon the Draco into a place where this thing's points to, so that way they can search out the Maximus. So then they're going to use both of these monsters to link off into the Crusadia Regulus, right? This thing has pointy thingies because it's a link monster, so they get to special summon the Relucia. And then they're going to get a Crusadia Power, right? So then they're going to use both of these monsters to link climb into the Crusadia Equimax. Bring that thing out here looking all horsey like. Then they're gonna activate the Maximus, special summoning that thing into a card, into a place with things point to. Then they're gonna activate the World Legacy Succession, right? That way they could bring the Mech Knight Purple Nightfall onto the field from the graveyard, special summon that thing, giving this thing a huge attack boost. Then they're gonna activate that thing's effect. I decided to implement. I don't really know how Mech Knights work, all that well. So they activated this thing's effect to negate it. I don't know why. I don't know if that was the greatest call to do, but I don't know how they work. So they negate our Imperm, getting rid of the Maximus. Then they banish this thing, searching out a Magnite Blue Sky, right? Then they get to special summon that thing onto the field. That way they could use that effect. So searching out a Magnite Indigo. Special summoning that thing, activating that thing's effect, moving this thing to another place, I guess. I don't know why. And if anything, I would have assumed they should have moved this over here. Again, I don't know exactly how they work, but I might be bugging. But now they attack into this thing. This thing cannot be destroyed by battle. Now they attack with this thing. I get to put a cubic counter on it. And when you put a cubic counter on things, they're completely negated. Like, they can't activate nothing that has a cubic counter on. Then they're going to activate the Crusadia Testament, right? And I'm like, okay, bet, I guess. So here we draw into the Cubic Emperor. So I decided to activate this thing's effect, bring it back onto the field, activating this thing's effect so we could get rid of the Emperor. That way we get an Agito onto the hand. And then I'm going to end the turn because, again, if we can't mill, we can't really do much. And right now, I don't have any cards to really do much or anything, right? I'm telling you, most of this duel, my back was against the wall, but you guys see. So here I activated this thing's effect, calling the Blue Sky, just in case they drew into it, but they didn't draw into that at all. So now this thing gets to come back on the field. Then they're gonna normal summon the Orcus, the Jinjirsu. So then we're gonna activate the trap, sending the Agito to the graveyard again, so I could mill cards. So maybe I could have follow up next turn. Then I'm gonna get another Agito to the hand, right? They're gonna send this thing, the World Legacy, World Crown, to the graveyard. And I've seen that thing before, and I know I don't like it. So we're gonna activate the Agito's effect. They're gonna activate the Knife's effect, right? So this thing's gonna bounce off the field, join them a Magnite Red Moon. Again, we're gonna mill some cards, and then we're gonna activate the Modara, and we're gonna send these 3 cards because, again, I don't know how they work specifically, but I know that I don't want them in the graveyard. So we're gonna mill them back into the deck. Special summon the Agito. That way I can special summon the Kelbeck. And mainly I just needed bodies on the field, bro, because my back is against the wall. So they're gonna activate the Indigo, moving this thing so they can special summon the Magnite Red Moon, right? And now they can pop my Seed, which was the only protection that I had. But because they popped the Seed, I'm gonna activate the Unification. And I'm going to bring a Behemoth onto the field. But before we do that, they're going to activate the Crusader Power. I don't know why they specifically picked this, but I'm like, okay. Then they're going to activate this thing's effect, banishing one of the cards so they could pop this. But because this thing's effect right here makes it so the monster that we special summon cannot be destroyed by card effect or battle. So this thing is indestructible right now. So they're going to get rid of the Agito, pop the Kelbeck. They're gonna, again, this thing cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect right now, so they can't do anything to it. And here we get a Crimson Nova, the Cubic Lord. Here is where we actually started to kind of do things. We're gonna activate the Cubic Karma in the graveyard, right? They're gonna activate the Cubic Indigo, moving this thing from one place to another. Again, I don't know what that does, but they did it. We got another Crimson Nova Lord to the hand. We're gonna activate the Cubic Dharma. That way we could get the Crimson Lord from the graveyard onto the hand, right? I'm gonna activate this thing's effect, sending the Madara to the graveyard. That way I could get a Kelbeck to the hand. And we're gonna end our turn. Now you're probably thinking, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, well, I can't really do much, 1. And 2, this thing, I'm hoping that they pop it because you guys will see. Which they did, if I'm not mistaken, right? I was already making plays, bro. So see, I'm gonna activate this thing's effect. I called one of the Magnite cards that they didn't draw into, which is fine. So now they're just gonna bring this thing back. They're gonna activate this thing's effect, right? Which they're gonna banish a Magnite monster to pop it. I'm gonna activate the Gravekeeper's Trap, right? To send a Kelbeck to the graveyard so I can mill some cards so maybe we could play again on our turn. So here we get an Akeldo to the hand. Again, this thing is gonna get popped, and because that thing gets popped, I get to special summon 3 Cubic monsters from the graveyard. Bring my 2 Seeds and my Duza onto the field, please. And then mill me some cards because I need to play the game, right? So 1, 2, 3 onto the field. And now I get to add a Cubic card to my hand as well. So we go with the Cubic Wave. Now we're going to activate the Duza, sending a Karma to the graveyard. And again, we can't activate anything else, so right now it's completely their turn. They're gonna go into the Dengersu. They're gonna activate that thing's effect, getting rid of one of my seeds, of course. Then they're gonna activate the World Legacy, and I'm gonna activate this thing's effect. Honestly, I'm just activating things trying to bait out negates because this thing, it just gets an attack boost. I should have put it in attack, but I'm glad that I didn't because you guys will see. Then they're gonna special summon the Yellow Star, right? They're gonna use all of these monsters, so that, well, both of these monsters, so they can link summon into the Crusadia Evermax, which is wild. Then they're gonna activate this thing's effect, banishing this thing so they could pop my card. They were my trap card. They were tired of that thing. That was the only thing keeping me alive, low key. So then they're gonna activate this thing's effect, right? Banishing another monster so they could pop the seed, and now they can slap us in the face. They're gonna body this thing, slap us in the face for 3,000, 2,300, 2,000, and now we are left with 700 life points and a dream, bro. And a dream. So here I decided to activate the Mudara, right? And I'm gonna send the Infinite Impermanence back into my deck, and I'm praying that that's what I draw into, bro, because that is the only thing that can save us. That's what I was thinking at the time, right? So here the World Legacy gets back into the hand. It's our turn. I'm like, okay, bet. We draw into a Forbidden Droplet, bro. The heart of the cards is real, right? So here we're gonna activate the Cubic Karma. That way I could get a Dusa onto the hand because we need 3 different Cubic cards in order to special summon our Cubic monsters, right? I'm gonna activate the Forbidden Droplet, sending the Keldo to the graveyard so I could Droplet the Evermax. And then we're gonna special summon our Crimson Lord. That's 1. Give me the other one. That's 2. Now we're gonna special summon this thing. And this is when I came to the realization that even without the Droplet, bro, we were gonna be okay, because if I would have sent, I actually did it. We activated this effect, sending a Cubic Wave to the graveyard, and Cubic Wave can put Cubic counters on everything. So we're gonna banish 4 monsters with a Cubic Wave so we can put counters on all of these things. All of their effects are negated. Done. So now I'm gonna activate the Cubic Wave that I have in the hand, give this thing an attack boost while also diminishing this thing's attack, right? Slap him in the face, and then slap him in the face again because I get to attack twice. Yo, bro. This duel was crazy to me. Because my back was really against the wall this whole game, bro. So, oh, my little nephew is here, bro. If you guys hear him, that's him. And also the ice cream is outside. I'm sorry. But now, let's go over the deck list. Alright guys, here we are for the deck list portion of the video. Hopefully you guys don't hear my little cousin or the ice cream truck outside, but if you guys do, I apologize. So we have 3 V-Gem the Cubic Seeds, 3 Dusa the Meteor Cubic, 1 Buster Gundle the Cubic Behemoth, 1 Endura Doom Volt the Cubic Emperor, 2 we have every single Ishizu card in this deck. Every single one of them, you just slap them in here because this card only mainly functions if you mill. So now we have 1 Therion Bull Aim, 1 Therion Reaper Fume, 2 Therion Lily Boros, 3 Therion King Regulus, 3 Crimson Novas the Dark Cubic Lord, 1 Card of Destruction, 1 Polymerization, 1 Foolish Burial, 3 Reasonings, 3 Cubic Waves, 2 the Grass Looks Greener, 1 Endless Engine Griot System. Honestly, if you have more of these and you want to try this deck, slap all of them in there. I only have 1. Then we're gonna run 1 Therion the Colosseum. I have 2, but I'm only running 1. Maybe you should run it at 2, it depends. 3 Cubic Karmas, 3 Cubic Dharmas, 2 Kobai the Graves, 3 Forbidden Droplets, 1 Extension of the Spirit, 3 Unifications of the Cubic Lord, 2 Infinite Impermanence, 1 Therion Stand Up, and 1 Gravekeeper's Trap, right? So, for an extra deck, we have 1 Guardian Chimera, because sometimes when this deck is functioning and going, you could get more than 3 bodies on the field, no problem. So if you need to pop and draw, you could do this with the Polymerization. It's just in there. Anyways, we got 1 Crimson Nova Trinity. I've been trying to get this thing onto the field. That's why I'm building the Tier Limits Cubic deck, because I think we could go into this thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna test it out, right? Then we have a number 41 Bagushka, Time Thief Redoer, number 60 Dugaris, 1 Divine Arsenal Aesus, 1 Underlord Taker, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Pentestag, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Mech Knight Crusadia Evermax, 1 Axis Cold Talker, and 1 Underworld Goddess of the Underworld. Now, this deck, again, I'm gonna make content for you guys so you guys can enjoy and be entertaining. I'm not always gonna make decks that are just super competitive or anything. I just want to make good videos that you guys enjoy as well. This deck is not competitive. You are legitimately waiting or hoping that you can mill cards, so that way you could do things, right? And in this current meta, because everybody's playing against decks like this, you might not have the greatest of times, but I wanted to play it. So with that being said, if you guys have any, also, if you guys want to make changes to this, make your own version of it and show it to me, I would love that, bro. If you guys can make this better, because I just made this out of the blue. So if you guys can make this viable or like some way competitive or something, I don't know, do it and show it to me, bro. I will be super happy. So with that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, and concerns, hit me up in the comments below, bro. I always reply. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and peace.